So how did the meeting go, and then what did Diddy say? Why did he turn you down?
And this was probably maybe 2 or 3 years prior.
Okay.
So I was like 11 or 12
Okay.
at this time. The same kid that I said that showed me the ropes in New York. Yeah, me and him had songs. It was like a group. Mm-hmm. So me and him had different like songs that we would do together, and I would do solo songs. So we both got the audition. He's like, all right, cool. Let's go and meet him, and let's go sing. So we went in there together. And he was like, cool. We did the song that we have together, and I'm singing on the chorus. And so he was just like, cool. I talked to y'all. Can he go outside for a second? We're gonna just talk. They was like, nah, we don't want him.
They didn't want you.
Nah, they didn't want me. So I was like, as a 12, 13-year-old, I was in that elevator probably crying like a mug. So
But you knew who Diddy was, right? You like,
of course. And at the Pinnacle, I'm like, man, first of all, I was just excited just to meet them. Yeah, like, so being in the room kind of made me like shaky. So I probably was nervous and singing crazy, but at the same time, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna pass on that.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna show him. Like, so that was my motivation to keep going too.
Because knowing who Diddy was,
yeah.
For Diddy to say, nah, you need to go on outside, it probably would be like a basketball player saying, Phil Jackson saying, nah, go away. You know, one of these prominent coaches saying, nah, bro, I don't think you good enough.
Yeah.
So you're on the elevator. What are you thinking? Like, am I not good enough? Because P. Diddy just told me, like, nah.
Of course. I was in the elevator like, man, this might be it for me. You know, because as a kid, when you're a kid, you think anything that's it's the end of the road, yeah. But I think I just took that motivation. Me and my homeboy, we just was like, you know what? Let's just keep going back in the studio.
Right.
Let's just make more songs. Let's get better. We just started, so I think. But I thank Puff for that, man. Right. Hey Diddy, man, I appreciate it though, like, cause that made me get on my grind.
You say you hired Tina Davis as your business manager. What did you learn from her?
I learned everything from media training to how to be presentable in a room, how to speak to people, how to listen to people. You know, I was like so country and like, hey, what's up, y'all? I'm just loud.
Right.
So I feel like she guided me through a lot of the music industry, the business of how it works. Mm-hmm. Meeting PDs, program directors, and going to different radio stations, teaching me how to have showmanship. Like she was like, nah. She used to tell me because Neo's a good friend of mine as well, and she worked with Neo before. So she's like, nah, you don't got showmanship like Neo. And I was like, huh? What am I not doing? Right. So I would have just rehearsals, not even dance rehearsals, just rehearsals of me just figuring out how to be me on stage, or what was me when I get on stage. Right. You know?
So when you hear that first song, you hear it come on the radio, what's going through your mind?
Man, I'm cussing, first of all. I'm in the basement, so my mama don't hear me, but I'm cussing. I remember I had a spot in Jersey because right when I signed my deal, I wasn't out of school yet.
Right.
But they had to put me in a place to where I could be closer to the label to start working.
Right.
So I was still doing school in Virginia, and I had just left them, and I was like, yeah, I'm about to be in the radio. Everybody like, man, you ain't on the radio. What you talking about? So then when they say, I remember the song came on, my cousins was calling me like, bro, they playing you on the radio, bro. And I'm like, you lying. And I remember I turned it on. I think I sat in a corner and was like, and yelled for like 5 minutes straight. Like I felt it was the best feeling. Like I still feel like that when I hear my songs on the radio now. It's not the same as excitement, but it's still the same.
It's something about that first time in it.
Yeah. It's definitely.
Run It made you the first artist since '95 to have a debut single to top the charts.
Man.
Did you know that song? Obviously it was the first song that was released, but did you know that song would forever change your life?
No, I'm gonna be real. When I did that song, we were in Miami, and Hit Factory, Scott Storch, Sean Garrett, and I was just learning. I was a student because this was my first ever album. So any producer I would meet, I'm just soaking it all in. Mm-hmm. You know, so I'm scared. I'm thinking like, I don't sound good. I don't know if do I sound good? I don't know if I like the song. because I was too nervous in my head. But then it was like, nah, this is the one. But I knew I wanted to dance in it.
Right.
The music was bumping, so I was like, look, I want to dance. I just want to showcase this. But I didn't know. I think I never had an expectation that it would have the success that it put me at.
Right.
You know.
So what's your favorite song of all the songs you've done? What's your favorite song? And give me your top 3.
My top 3. Man. It's so hard with me because I have, just to be honest, I have about 15,000 unreleased songs, right?
What?
Yeah. I got like, in my phone alone, like in certain apps, I have, I want to say maybe 1,800. Just 1,800 to like, yeah.
So obviously we're in your studio.
Yeah.
So you'll come down here like, you know, it's like, and just crank out songs.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a point where I used to stay in the studio. Like when I was doing a lot of my earlier albums, I had to learn. But around, I want to say around the Fame album and certain stuff like that, I was kind of like in my zone. I knew I knew what I wanted.
Okay, using your bag.
Yeah. So even for me now, I put the studio in my house because like I can draw inspiration faster. Like if I think of something, if I think of an idea, like, oh, I got an idea for this song, I don't have to like wait or set up the studio and be like, okay, I gotta go to the studio now.
So if you're in your bed at night and you think of something, you just come down here and just.
Yeah, depends, because I'll make sure my engineer's awake. You know? If it's like 5, 6 in the morning, I'm like, man, I'll just do it in the morning.
Right.
But like, if it's midnight, I'm like, hey man, you up? Let's do it.
Wow. So 18,000 unreleased songs. What? I mean, how do you get to 18? How do you get to like 100? Okay, somebody said, well, you know, I got like 20. I got 50 unreleased songs.
Yeah.
But you saying like in some of your apps you have 1,800.
Yeah.
So you just like go days, months, years where you just record.
Yeah, I literally recorded like 4 songs yesterday, but I do it in spurts. So sometimes, some days I'll just relax. I might do 1 song, but some days it's just like because I feel like it's like sharpening your sword, man. Like being better at your craft, like getting your jump shots up.
Right.
Like I feel like I don't want to be complacent and thinking I got it all figured out.
Right.
I never want to think that, I'm Chris Brown, so whatever I put out is going to be great. I want to make sure it is, you know?
Are there any songs that you wrote for an artist that if people actually knew you wrote it, they would be surprised?
I think back in the day they did. I wrote a couple pop records. I wrote a couple Jonas Brothers songs. I wrote a couple, I wrote a couple Rihanna songs. Damn, I do a couple of country records. I used to write a lot for a lot of different artists, but it was more so me experimenting with what music was. Like I wasn't just doing R&B, so I would just write. But I've LaToya Luckett I've written for. It's been a lot of people I've written for, but I feel like a lot of people didn't know I really write because as an artist, you know, you get a lot of artists music artists that don't
write for themselves.
Yeah, but I can't shun them because I work with a lot of producers, a lot of writers, and we do different things. But I've also had time to sit down and just really have my own songs that people love, and I'm like, I'm glad they love that. I wrote that song, you know. So yeah.
What's your favorite music genre? Is it pop? Is it R&B? Dance? Euro? Rap?
I'm eclectic. So I like certain songs. Like I think when a song comes out and it moves me, I just like it. It could be a country song. It could be a piano song. It could be a heavy metal song. Like, you know, I just think whatever frequency that attunes me to it is what I kind of gravitate to. In my lane of my music, I just love doing feel good music, fun music people can dance to, but at the same time give them certain things that get them through their life. Because I see a lot of my fans, or I talk to them, whether it's meet and greets, whether it's Discord or whatever it is, and we talking, and it's like they explain to me how certain songs got them through life situations, and I'm like, wow, that really, it kind of sinks in with me. It makes me kind of like, dang, I'm really doing the music for an actual purpose. So when I do certain songs, speak from my experience, but also try to speak to uplift somebody, make them have fun, or make them be like, hey, man, this makes me feel